Hello, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Christ, and welcome to another episode of Catholic Meme Review, formerly known as Catholic Meme Roundup. Today, we're going to go over some pretty funny memes, some of them Catholic, some of them not so Catholic, and I'm going to rate them 1 out of 10. If you guys want to get some of your own memes rated, then go ahead and leave them in the Catholicism for the Modern World meme discussion page, not meme discussion page, meme channel, and we'll see if we can't get to them. This one's pretty funny. So if you don't see it here, you got the I'm going to Jerusalem on holiday. You got a little woman there. Yeah, I'm going to Jerusalem on a business trip. You got a guy here, and I'm going to Jerusalem for a thing. You know, crusader here. This is really funny, as it kind of highlights that reality of the church's sort of ancientness. Modern Catholics today can claim this kinship to the people that launched the Crusades because we're both Catholic. We have this shared religion that goes back well over 1,000, well, not over 1,000 years at this point, but nearly over 1,000 years at this point, to the time of the Crusades. This deep historicity of the church. And also, of course, this meme is just funny because you imagine just like a guy wearing, like walking into the office wearing a Templar a helmet, just getting all kinds of weird looks from his boss. We're gonna give this one a 7 out of 10, I think, to start with. It's a very good meme, very solid, good content, super funny. This one's very, very funny. So this is obviously mocking the sort of disgusting people that you sometimes see entering into the Catholic space that are just Nazis. Like they're just Nazis. They're racists. They don't have a full understanding of the Catholic Church. They're just racists that have like joined the church in order to try to proliferate their racism under the guise of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And this is honestly just the proper reaction to them. We're Catholic. People that every Catholic, no matter their race, is my brother or my sister in Christ. Fundamentally. They're that. They're nothing else. They're nothing lesser than me. They're nothing, well, some of them are something greater than me because some of them, obviously, they're more intelligent, more capable than I am, and some of them are less intelligent and less capable than I am, but they're nothing greater than me or lesser than me because of their race or because of their background. And this meme does a really good job at just pointing out the ridiculousness of the concept of people that group in true Catholic conservatism with Nazism. The two are categorically incapable of properly interacting with each other. The worldviews are just entirely and completely inconsolable. Because Catholicism's fundamental claim when it comes to issues like race is that there is no Jew or Greek in Christ. There are no races as distinct categories, properly speaking, within the Catholic understanding of things. There are ethnic considerations, there are identities, there are cultural groups, there are these things that are deeply important to our formation as people. But there are not these clearly defined racial categories, nor some command that we not intermix them. So because this meme makes a really, really interesting and funny political point, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. This one's just silly. This one's just completely and totally ridiculous. You're like, here's a pew, there's a pew, pew 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 pew. I wonder if the people that own whatever church this is, because I don't think this is a Catholic church. I think this is a traditional Protestant church. I wonder if the people who owned this church knew they were going to do this, because this is very funny. It's a funny concept, but I can't imagine like the person who owns the church or who runs the church would have let this happen if they had known it was going to go on. Even if it is a more non-traditional Protestant church that we have there. And it's still funny. We're going to give this one a 9 out of 10 just because it's like the sound pew and the actual object pew. It's an incredibly funny sort of connection between the two of them. Offer some praise to our fellow believers in Christ. Please don't have me arrested by the pun police. It's not my fault. But this is actually really interesting. I've seen this meme a number of times before. I don't know how this has been tested or if there's a scientific explanation for it, but it's very cool to think about. If this was true, this would serve as kind of not necessarily a clear proof of Christ, but certainly one of those things where it's kind of like, oh, well, that's kind of an interesting proposition in favor of this. Although it could also be one of those things where it's a bit similar to when people who are Muslims try to say that cats won't walk on the Quran. Like, it's just not true. They just will. And it could be the same thing with these bees. One way or another, it's still a funny concept because it's just you imagine the bees sitting there venerating icons while they're building their honeycombs. It's incredibly funny to think about. So we're going to give this one a 9 out of 10 with the chance that it might make it to 10 out of 10 depending on what the last meme looks like. My apologies to the believers. This one is the 10 out of 10. It's just... See, the thing that's funny about this, it's not the making light of the Crusades and the making light of some of the horrors that happened during that period, but it's just the funniness of imagining how ridiculous it would be if you just went to a barbecue and it's like, oh, hey, Jim, why are you wearing your great helm? Oh, it's Sunday. You know, like a guy who just shows up to Catholic mass like wearing a full suit of armor, like a medieval knight. It's just a funny thing to imagine because this is a just deep subversion of the norm. It's especially funny because like this is a completely suburban environment and they're wearing totally normal like cookout clothes. Other than this, it's just hilarious on the face of it in a way I can't even communicate. This one is our 10 out of 10. This one wins. What does it win? Absolutely nothing, but my approval and hopefully the agreement of the rest of the people watching this. All right, so as a final point, I'm going to ask you guys to support the cause here at Catholicism for the Modern World. If you can, prayerfully consider buying something from our affiliate marketing links below. If you're really a big fan of our content, I'm going to ask you to support us however you can. You can like, comment, and subscribe from now. In a little while, we're going to set up a Patreon or some similar situation so that we can collect donations, and we're really going to prayerfully ask for your support because what we want to do is we want to help spread the joy of Jesus Christ through content like this and through more serious content like what we have on the main channel and on the other channels associated with this program. I'm going to prayerfully ask all of you to consider supporting and say as a final word of goodbye that I care about all of you, I'm praying for all of you, and may God bless you all, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Christ.